Hey, what's going on, everybody? I am coming to you today with a build a squad. I'm going to be making a scum and villainy list for X-Wing, and I'm going to be using today the yet another X-Wing miniatures builder. I really like this one. This is probably one of my favorite squad builders to use specifically for a number of really cool reasons, like the expansion that something comes in, it'll tell you, like if I mouse over an upgrade, it'll say where it comes, or if I'm trying to figure out something, if I just need a reference, like where did the cloaking device come in, and I could find out there. So this is a really, really good squad builder. I'll put a link to it in the description below. It does allow you to log in. You can edit your collection. You can save squads. I can build something here, save it, and then log in from my phone when I'm, actually at a store getting ready to play, and it'll pull up the list that way. Just a lot of really cool things, and then you can import and export and do a lot of you can name things. I named this one Test One. Basically, I'm just going to put together a Scum and Villainy list using some of the new stuff that we had previewed in the Guns for Hire, the Scum Aces. So I want to pull down. A Star Viper, and I want to pull down a Kirax. There's a Kirax. All right. So I want these two guys, and actually, no, let's do this Kirax first. So I really like the new title for this thing. It's the Vaxi, and it gives you extra modifications if you haven't. And if you aren't familiar, it'll tell you right what it says over here, which is great. And if I mouse over the ship, for example, it'll tell me all of the maneuvers for it and all of the stats and what actions. It gives you so much information. It's really nice. And it's simple too. The black background or whatever, even if you've got a slower computer, this will still run pretty well for you. But I'm going to go with, we do have Victor Hell, which was spoiled, but I want to go with Talonbane Cobra. See, and if you look over here on the right, it'll tell you that Victor Hell is unreleased, but Talonbane Cobra comes in the Kirax Fighter expansion pack, so that's pretty cool. Now we've got an EPT on this guy. Now I used to always like to fly Talonbane Cobra with engine upgrade because he's a pilot skill 9. He gets to do everything last, so repositioning is always really good on a higher pilot skill guy. And I would usually give him glitter stem, so in case he had to boost into range 1, I could use, I could pop glitter stem and get the focus that way. But I have some new options now. So the first thing that's really nice about this is that this is going to be cheaper. All the upgrades with Vaxi are going to be cheaper, so the engine upgrade is only going to cost me 3. But now that I can have multiple upgrades, multiple modifications, I can now equip auto thrusters, which is very cool, considering that it kind of works with his ability because he gets an extra die when defending at range 3. So now I can be very, very defensible at range 3. And this auto thrusters ends up only costing 1 point. So between these 6 points, this is kind of the equivalent of what 4 points would have costed before the Vaxi cost. So I'll be able to boost here, and for an EPT, I think since I'm doing some theoretical building, I'm going to take one of the new upgrades that's also not out yet. Let's take Intensity. Intensity was just recently spoiled as well, and I believe that's coming in the Aggressor, the TIE Aggressor. So Intensity looks really, really nice, and so this is after you perform a boost or barrel roll, you may assign a focus or evade. And then you flip the card, and then at the end of the combat phase, you can spend a focus or evade to flip the card back over. So it's almost like a free push the limit. It doesn't give you a stress, right? So if I boost to get into range or potentially out of range, I can get a focus or evade. So at range 3, if I boost into range 3, I'll have auto thrusters and potentially an evade. And then if I don't need, then I can spend to flip it right back over. Or if I'm boosting into shooting range, I can then use that maybe to get a focus and be able to wreak havoc upon my enemies. So that will be very, very fun. For illicit, I don't have to do anything, but I mean, if nothing else, I would want inertial dampeners or black market slicer tools, because Vaxi is giving you a reduced point cost to a minimum of 0. So like missile upgrade, I'm going to take XX-23 tracer threat tracers. I'm just going to take that because it's free. There's no reason why not to. And I could go with something else if I wanted to, but usually I'm going to be attacking normally. I've got 3 attack dice and 5 at range 1, so I'm definitely going to be attacking as much as possible with my primary weapon. But this, if I'm at range 3 and I need it, sure, why not? There's no downside to taking that. Illicits, I could take inertial dampeners. That's actually really good to take. Or I could take cloaking device. Cloaking device might not be bad at all. And if I take a cloaking device, check this out. You're going to like this. You're going to like this because I can now take Stygium Particle Accelerator too. So now when I cloak or decloak, I can perform a free evade action. So I can potentially get 2 evades here. Now you can't use 2 on the same attack, but I mean this ends up only costing me 1 extra point because it's a 2 point upgrade reduced by 1 for Vaxi. So we got a fully loaded Talonbane, completely loaded, and very very maneuverable and very unpredictable. For only 35 points. That's not bad. I mean, it's still a little expensive as far as an ace is concerned, but 35 for fully loaded is not bad at all, especially considering he's now pretty survivable. I mean, and there's plenty of ways to change this around. Like I could easily get the pulse ray shield, which might be great for him, especially if he's going to get that ion token. It can still boost. So pulse ray shield would also be a good option. So you could potentially drop the cloaking device altogether, maybe take a free inertial dampeners and then the pulse ray shield. All of those would be good options as well. But I'm going to go with this one. This one will be fun. This would be really fun. I just like having the cloaking device. I think it's a lot of fun. So now let's put a Star Viper. Yes, Star Viper's excellent. Now we do have some unspoiled new stuff, but let's go with who we already know. We've got Zizor and Guri. I used to use Zizor from time to time, but let's go with Guri. Guri is going to be fun. And we have the new title, the Star Viper Mark II. This is a -3 that brings Guri down to 27 points, and it also allows you to take another title. So I'll take Virago also. Now this one doesn't give you any negative point costs like the Vaxi does, but it changes my barrel rolls, so I can be extra maneuverable here. Now with Virago, I'd also get System and Illicit, so let's put Advanced Sensors so we can do some fun stuff there. And I also really like inertial dampeners on this, so I can stay put. I can advance sensors, barrel roll, then maybe barrel roll backwards, and then inertial dampeners to stay put, just in case I need to. I mean, that's always a fun thing to do. And Guri's, she's going to be basically taking somebody's. Bodyguard would work in this case. Bodyguard would totally work in this case, but she can take focus from an enemy, and then she can use that focus to power Bodyguard up and give Talonbane an extra. But I don't know if that's the best way to go. I mean, this would just, let's try and use new stuff. Intensity actually would work pretty well on her as well, especially because she can steal the focus and then she'll have an extra one left over. So intensity would work good, but I don't want to have 2 in the same list because that's not as fun. I'm trying to build a fun list here. Juke would not work here, and intimidation, intensity. I like that a lot. So there's all kinds of interesting things we can do here. I'll go with Bodyguard for right now, just for the sake of it, for the sake of buffing other people. Oops, I just went right past it. Now these are sorted by cost, and Bodyguard is a 2, and then they're alphabetical within there. So there we go. All right. Now we also have the modifications. So for the sake of it, let's throw auto thrusters on there. That's great. All right, so we've got a new Kirax and a new Star Viper, hypermobile ships here, and Guri is at a PS5 and Talonbane's at a PS9. Let's throw on another ship. You know what else? I'll pick an M3A. We've got some new stuff for the M3As. Let's see if I can get pilot skill. Well, I need above, right? Higher pilot skill. Let's get one of the new M3As. Leighton, she's not new. Quinn Jast is new. Genesis Red. Oh, Genesis Red won't work as well with Guri, though. Sirisu, let's do one of the new ones. Tensari point is 5, and Aldra's lower pilot skill. So let's go with Quinn Jast. Okay, so Quinn Jast Quinn can get a missile back or a torpedo back. So we'll choose which type. We can go with the light sick if we wanted to do that, but that doesn't synergize with Quinn at all. So we wouldn't want cannon in this case. We'd want missile or torpedo. So if we went with torpedo, then we could go with something like a proton torpedo and then fire it potentially every turn, because Quinn's ability at the start of combat, you can receive a weapons disable token to flip one of your discarded torpedo or missile upgrades face up. So you get infinite torpedoes, but you have 1 round in between. So that's okay. Granted, you can still shoot normally, so it's not like you won't be able to shoot, you won't be able to shoot normally when you have your weapons disabled, but you could fire the proton torpedo. If you have a shot worth taking, then take it. And if you don't have a shot worth taking, I don't really like Quinn that much. As a matter of fact, I think we need a better torpedo or something before we do that. I mean, I think the real benefit there is to switch to missile and potentially go with the ion pulse missiles, or maybe gosh, which is the I'm thinking, no, I'm thinking of torpedo. Let me switch back. I'm switching over to torpedo. The ion torpedo, that one would be pretty nice to be able to ion somebody and then make them all, ionize a whole swarm potentially, and then get that back and be able to do that multiple times. I could see that having some advantage. But I'm going to switch the cannon and I'm going to change my pilot out. This is kind of a nice thing about this builder. So Genesis Red actually could work on this one. I would just have to be careful not to go after the same ship that Guri stole somebody from. So I could do that, or I could just simply go with Sarasu. Now I am at 92 points here, so if I upgrade to Sarasu, who actually is a very good pilot, and I have the Heavy Sick. Now the Heavy Sick has been errated. This was kind of old news for a lot of people, but it does now increase your hull value by 1. So that's very nice indeed. We do have some new cannons. We have the Arc Caster, which will be coming out probably next week. It looks like next week that's coming out. But I like the heavy laser cannon. I do like the heavy laser cannon an awful lot. Now that puts us right at 100 points. So if I wanted to add something else to here, I'd have to do something like maybe adaptability, or trick shot. Trick shot actually would be pretty cool with heavy laser cannon, because I'd be able to roll 5 dice at range 3 through a rock, and they'd only get 1 bonus die. That might be the way to go. That would be fun. That would be fun. So here's a list. This would be a fun list to try out. We'll be using a lot of the new stuff. It'd be hyper maneuverable with the first 2, and then Sarasu could kind of hang back, and then try to stay in the rear, and then if they go after him, I can huddle them all up. Sarasu's ability is really not going to be doing a whole lot here, but I'd have the option to, and that's really the good thing. And then Guri can potentially give Sarasu an extra agility, or Talonbane. We have that choice. So Guri's kind of playing support in this one, but all 3 are pretty capable ships. 3 attack dice, potentially 5, and then down here 3 attack dice. Well, 2 attack dice, but potentially 5. So that's, I like potential 5 attack dice shots. So that's kind of, I guess, maybe the theme with Guri, who's no slouch at 3 red, 3 green, potentially 4. So that's pretty something. I like it. Well, let me know what you think, guys. Let's change this from test to call it 3, maybe 5. There we go. Call 3, maybe 5. All right. Well, thank you guys so much for watching. And as always, if you haven't already, please subscribe and click the little bell for alerts to get new content as soon as I put it out there. Let me know if you're picking up a Sea-Rock this next week, if you're getting one right away. And as always, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up and leave me a comment and let me know what you think. Thank you guys so much for watching, and have a great day.